Hey guys, welcome to Galaxy Sparkles, where I turn imagination into reality. Thank you for tuning in and giving me a few minutes of your time. Leave a comment below and let me know how my craftsmanship has came along. Also like and share this video. And if you'd like to watch my progression as a one-stop shop, subscribe and let us take the journey together. Galaxy Sparkles. Good morning, guys. It's Thursday, March 20th, 2025. Through emotional mastery, guys, you are able to do so much. Once you've dissected the lower vibrations and the higher vibrations, once you've dissected each and every one of these emotions and understand these emotions bit by bit, piece by piece, through emotional empathy, after emotional mastery, through emotional empathy, you are able to download your consciousness into any entity that you possibly could understand, such as gods, such as devils, any entity through emotional empathy and understanding, guys, and come up with some understandings, some personal questions that you may have through through anything that you desire. You are able to download your consciousness into these entities and see truth, see understandings, your truths, your understandings. Not necessarily what everybody else is going through, but through what you're going through. Have these total understandings, these breakthroughs. Guys, I have put myself into many entities, understanding pain, understanding so much, guys. And I am an emotional master. I consider myself a black belt in emotional mastery, guys. For my black belt test, they stripped everything from me. They stripped my family. They stripped my livelihood. The matrix, guys, the simulation. We are 100%, I am 100% living in a simulation, and I wager my life on it for all the experiences that I've been through. And the lowest outcome is a 50% chance, guys. That's the lowest statistic I can find that we are living in a simulation. And guys, I have so many ideas, so many understandings that through my empathy, I have downloaded my consciousness into certain entities, and I have seen certain things through my imagination mixed with my visual cortex. It's hard to explain the visions I've seen. I don't know how to explain what I've seen within myself that's possible, the possibilities, our capabilities. But guys, I have seen so much, and I feel like I am 100% living in a simulation, for I've experienced so much adversity, so much life. I've got to live so much life. And through these struggles and through all this life, what they call life, I have experienced some unbelievable, cool experiences, like being ahead of time, guys, knowing the future conversations, knowing the words that were going to be played on a Scrabble board before they were played, knowing the conversations that were going to be held on their part, the party I was speaking with, as well as my own role in this conversation I was having. Guys, I attempted to change the conversation on my end. I changed the script in my mind, and it was on the tip of my tongue. But when it came out my turn to act in this script, in this role, in this simulation, the words came out in original script, leaving the change script in my mind and still on the tip of my tongue, unable to change the present from the future. Unable, guys. So that lets me question free will. I have so many questions. I've dug deep in so much different knowledge, guys. And it's led me right back to the same questions, a loop, guys. But it has to be this way for also life. The simulation has to be a continuous loop, because otherwise it would just be something that comes to an end, like like a bowl of ice cream, for example. You know, you take that last bite and it's all over, and you're just like, damn, if I just had 1-2 more bites of ice cream. I'm just saying, that's how I was last night. I wanted a couple more bites of ice cream. But guys, the simulation must go on. So we gods, you, I, every single one of us on this planet are gods. We are creators, has to create so that the simulation goes on. And now, guys, we are in a technology state which I already think we're much further advanced than we already are right now by billions of years, guys. For the universe, they say is 14.3, 14.5 billion years old. Guys, technology could easily be 14 billion years old. And they're saying this is 2025, but it could very easily be 14 billion 2025. So simply and easily. For you are only born with a name, some sort of religion, some sort of idea what happens, and just a very brief history. You know, you could be easily manipulated into believing this is just 2025. And I mean, guys, just if you could just take a look around yourself, just go within yourself and begin finding yourself. And guys, once you begin understanding certain things, you put yourself into these certain entities, and they shed this light on you. And it's a beautiful thing, guys. That's all I can tell you. But I feel like technology is so much further advanced in 2025, much, much, much further advanced, so far advanced that you can't even wrap your ideas, your mind around it. Neither can I. And I have a huge imagination, and I know we are much further advanced in the year 2025, guys. Much, much further advanced. Much further. Who cares if their physics don't align with our time at this time? But that's just the progression of it, guys. For the future's already being lived. Guys, I can tell you so much, but it just in due time, guys. Y'all subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned, for we're going to talk about a lot in the next few years. I got a lot to say, a lot to talk about, a lot of knowledge to give out that's within me. Through all the research I've done, I've took a little piece of every certain thing that lines with my experiences, my logic, my understanding, and my imagination, and my emotional mastery. I have took little bits and pieces and put them together as a puzzle. Guys, I have an observer within me that observed this entire entity, for I used to be not living in the moment. I used to go off like a lot of y'all do in autopilot mode. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. But now I have an observer that I stay in the moment in most every single moment. Very, very rare am I in autopilot mode. Hardly ever. But then it's also through learning more, I've learned that it's very, very possible that my brain has created this observer within, that I am not really the observer, but guys, it just goes on and on. It's a freaking never ending loop, but that's the way it's supposed to be. And maybe this is why so many people go crazy, because it's a never ending loop. I just don't have all the answers. And if I'd said I did, I'd be lying to you. And anybody that says they do, you got to be not trusting them folks very much, guys, because it can always be looped. Somehow it can always be looped. So here we go. Let's expand. Let's do this together. Here we go. Y'all hang tight. We're going to create us a nice ring today. I don't know what we're going to call it, but we're going to call it something good. Here we go. Y'all hang tight. All right, guys, we're going to get this band started right here. Drop me a couple solder balls on the tip and get this thing manipulated into place. I like that little technique of dropping that solder ball right there. It's pretty handy. I learned it about 2.5, 3 months ago, and it's a very handy technique to have it's just all a learning process for me, guys. I am only 3 months into making these metal rings, and I've came a long ways in a short amount of time. I'm getting pretty good at what I do here, but definitely need to up my game in certain areas, and just one day at a time. That's all we can do, guys. Keep continuing waking up a better version of ourselves day in and day out. That's what we do. It's what I do here at Galaxy Sparkles anyway. All right, guys, we're getting some nice melt there. Trying to get that flame over here to the very edge so it'll suck that solder right to it there. Seems like we've done a fairly good job. Let's get this other side. Drop a nice solder ball on the very tip. Bam. Well, aim was a little off on that one, guys, but I bet we can manipulate that heat enough to get it to flow where we want. There we go. We're getting some flow now. Oh yeah, look at that. Right up in there. All right, guys. All right, guys, y'all hang tight. I'm gonna get this thing maneuvered up and we'll solder it all up together. I got a piece of my bezel here made already, and this is gonna be the other piece of the bezel. I'll show it to y'all in just a minute. Let me get this thing annealed and y'all hang tight. Here we go. All right, guys, we're about to solder up this bezel to the ring of self-mastery. The W stands for the wizard that I am. So let's get this thing started. I got a pretty nice little, I probably got a 19 gauge, 18 gauge piece of sheet there that I'm soldering all this up to. So I need to get the stone itself real hot and try to get that plate heated up before anything else really is going to solder up to it. I'm going to drop me a couple of solder balls in here just so I have them in there in place. Drop us another solder ball up in there. I'm going to try to, that's really great. Alright guys, it's starting to solder up here. Alright guys, I'm going to finish this thing up. Y'all hang tight. We'll see y'all in just a minute. Here we go. Alright guys, we're going to solder that bezel right on up to this ring. See what happens here. Should look pretty good when we get done. I like making these handmade bezels with symbols and icons in them. Pretty cool. I enjoy it. Alright guys, we're starting to get some melt in there, so that's nice. Try to draw some over here to this side. Oh yeah. Alright guys, we got that nice and soldered up. I'm going to do just a little bit more and we'll see y'all in just a minute. Y'all hang tight. Alright guys, we have completed the ring of self-mastery, becoming the wizard that I am. In many, many ways, guys. I'm just going to keep learning, keep going, and hopefully it keeps looping and looping, and I just keep gaining more knowledge, because the loop has to be the way, guys. It has to be the loop. That way this never ends. The simulation never ends. So with that being said, I grade this ring a C+. I really enjoy making the little objects in the middle. The W is for the wizard. The other one's a certain symbol that is just iconic to me and don't really resonate with you whatsoever. So with that being said, we're going to leave this ring where it is. It's very top heavy, for I did use that 18 gauge sheet on it. The bottom part is real light, so this ring is very top heavy, but it is a very nice ring, guys, and I'm very pleased with this ring. It's going to last a very long time. And yeah, like always, guys, I'm going to leave you a huge energy ball. Huge energy ball, full of energy, full of imagination, full of love, full of joy, full of happiness, and full of connectedness. All right, guys, I cast that throughout the multi-universes, throughout the multi-realms, multiple versions of yourself. So if you happen to see it coming at you, you better brace yourself because it will change you. All right, guys, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good day. Thank you. Y'all hang tight.